So today is Monday, August 22nd. This is a special meeting of the Advisory Committee on Sustainability. We do not have a quorum, but we're going to get started anyway. Now we have a quorum. Hi, Cliff. This meeting is being called to order at 12:01. The meeting's being held by video conference only on the town's GoToMeeting platform as indicated on the agenda posted with the town clerk and on the town's website. And today we are here to talk about submitting our sustainable CT application, which is due by noon tomorrow. So we just want to do an overview of what we've done and kind of strategize, how to complete the submission. So, Liam and Lily, we have currently 570 points. So it looks like we have to change the status from bronze to silver. Hi, Craig, for what we're applying for. And, just, I guess, sort of a general question of, is there someone, us or you, who kind of like, does a general overview of the application to make sure that like all the I's are dotted and the T's crossed? Is there any possibility of any changes or additional information being given once the application is submitted and so forth? If you could just briefly walk us through that, that would be great.
Sure. So on our end, we'd be happy to do that one last look over. So once the application is submitted, though, after that, then it goes into the sustainable CT like reviewing panel and everything. So that usually takes around 2 months or so, just because they have a ton of applications that they have to review. So usually you'll hear back probably around end of October, early November is what happened last year.
Yeah.
And then from there, then you'll hear about whether you receive silver or bronze. But on our end, it looks like you'll receive silver because we've got all the boxes checked and everything. So that's good news. And then so we'd be happy to do a full review of it. And then there's no, on my experience, there's no like you have to check whether you're submitting for silver or bronze. They can just tell that you're submitting for silver based off of the equity toolkits, and then how many points you've submitted there.
Will they ask for clarification if, if it looks like we're trying to say something and it's not quite right, but perhaps with a little bit of clarification, we could, you know, get over that hurdle? Would they reach out and contact us, or would they just not give us the credit for the action?
Yeah, usually I believe they just wouldn't give you credit for the action, or they
Okay.
give you what points are they believe is fulfilling of the action there.
So from our application in 2019, there are still comments from Sustainable CT at the very bottom of some of the action items. And I think when we were gained access to the new application, we were told not to touch that area. Is that still true? Should we just leave those comments in there?
Sure. Which actions are those for?
Different ones,
Okay.
several different ones. There's comments by Sustainable CT at the very bottom of the page.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about those. They'll if I wouldn't worry about them. They'll handle them if they need them, and if not, then no worries. They won't impact the application.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Liam or Lily? Craig?
Well, I do.
I had a question for us. You want to go first, Christine?
No, I sent you guys 5.5. I was just waiting to see if it was good to go.
Okay, good. That was the nature
I
of
think we're still
my
looking over
question.
that one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, because I noticed that we have at least 2 action items in each category, which felt like good insurance because if you don't get points on one of those action items, it doesn't kill the ability to get points in all 12. So I was hoping that you said you were about to finish that one. It does say incomplete fields as well. I don't know
Yeah,
if
we talked about that. I went into each of the ones where it's unplanned and it says incomplete fields, and I cannot seem to get rid of that. And Liam and Lily said that they checked with the guy's name is escaping me, but he's like the computer whiz behind this, and he told us not to worry about it.
too much. Yeah, actually, I'm
Torin,
looking at
right?
it.
His name is Torin. Yeah.
Christine, did you just forward that around as like a Word document? Because I don't see anything
Which one?
actually uploaded. 5.5.
5.5. No, I sent it to Lily and Liam, for final approval.
But like, did you just like send an email? Because I don't see anything loaded
No,
yet.
I just sent it to them. Yeah. Do you guys
Oh,
want to?
okay, okay. So
You can
it's just
access
nothing's
it. It
online.
should be. It's public. I think you guys. I'll ask you on. I'll add you guys on there.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't. I'm just noticing on our municipal dashboard that there are 0 words and 0 attachments under 5.5 at the moment. That's correct. You just haven't. I want to make sure you didn't upload stuff that has since disappeared.
No, I haven't uploaded it. It is
Okay,
literally
great.
sitting here on my computer
That's
waiting to
fine.
see
That's fine.
what they
I'm
think
just
about it.
trying to understand.
Yeah. No, there are
That's cool.
core sheets, right? Yeah.
Okay, so Liam and Lily, you're gonna take a peruse of that, offer any guidance to Christine, and then she's gonna finalize that one on
Yep.
the dashboard.
Yes.
So really, at the end of the day, I guess, back to application here. Give me a second.
We should have close to 600 points.
605 if all 35 of the
Okay.
plan points under. So really, this is the big button that gets pressed when we're ready, right?
Yes, and I was going to ask Liam and Lily, at what point do we do that? Because you said that you would take a
Today.
last look at everything.
Yeah.
It makes me nervous to be doing it so close to the deadline.
Carolyn, it's time to just go. We're good. It's tremendous amount of work, tremendous work. Just press the button and then wait 2 months.
No, and
Right,
I'm
but
chasing.
Christine hasn't uploaded 5.5
Yeah.
yet.
Once that's
I
done,
haven't uploaded 5.5, and 2.3 is getting changed because Liam and Lily said I needed to do
Okay.
2.3.2. So I am waiting for Kesty from the Darien Chamber to get back to me for some of these things that I don't feel proper, filling in on my own. I mean, I don't work for the Chamber of Commerce, so I'm hoping.
But Christine, we do have other action items completed in category 2. We have 2.6.
I know we have 2.4, and then I could do 2.3 just 0.1 and back out the buy local part, but I mean, it's just like Lily's point was that it's pretty much done except for filling out the worksheet. So I just need a few sound bites for the worksheet, and then I'm done.
So yeah, we're down to the last 24 hours. It has
Yeah,
to be submitted by noon tomorrow. So I would say if you don't hear back by 5 p.m. today, just don't complete the stuff you can't complete, and complete the stuff you can, and we're done. I assume Liam and Lily, you could let us know if you have any further comments in the next couple of hours. Is that reasonable?
Yeah, sure. Carolyn, if you want to just let us know like when you were thinking about submitting or whenever Christine is able to get those last bits updated, then we'd be happy to take a look over and have it to you by whenever you need today.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about how everyone else feels. I feel a little nervous waiting until tomorrow because tomorrow is the deadline. If we lose power, I mean, that's just like my own personal anxiety. I would feel more comfortable submitting it at some point today. Whether it's at 5 o'clock
Well, let's set a deadline and work backwards. Like, when do you want to click send today, Carolyn, at a time that makes you feel comfortable?
Well, based on what you need to do, Christine, what would you and Liam and Lily, based on that, the fact that you said that you would take a last look-see at the application to make sure that everything is as it should be, what do you think would be a reasonable time? I mean, I'm fine with waiting until tomorrow too. I mean, if you recommend that, if it makes everyone feel more comfortable.
What if Christine? So we know that Liam and Lily are going to look at the historic one, which is 5-5, and they're going to get any comments to Christine relatively soon after we get off this call. Christine will wait till 5, accumulate whatever information she thinks she needs from others, make any finalization she thinks she can make, and then she'll get to you and say, I'm done. Right? Is that, Christine, is like 5 o'clock sound like a good time to do
Oh
the
yeah, I'm
cutoff?
sure I'll be bugging Kesty. I just, yeah,
Yeah.
don't worry.
I mean, do you think that's a good, like, we either have it or we don't by 5, so time to finalize? Or do you
Yes.
want more
I
time?
would, Carolyn, I'd suggest that you submit it tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. I mean, if Lily or Liam come up with some comment about something that I've done, I don't want to be sitting around my computer all day looking for this. I will check this afternoon, and I might need to make the corrections during the evening or something. So
Okay.
I would
So,
suggest you just submit it tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
okay.
Okay.
I mean, I'm fine with that. That kind of like takes the pressure off everybody a little bit. So, Liam and
So
Lily,
just,
does that sound reasonable to you?
Sure. Yeah. Whatever you think is gonna make you feel the best and most comfortable. We'll probably take around 30 minutes or so to review the whole application. So don't
Okay.
wait for us by any means.
so what, I mean, in terms of the application, we know 5-5 is outstanding. And then what items under 2 are outstanding in terms of completion?
2.3.2, and I'm just documenting the shop local campaign. I just need to hear back from the chamber so I can get a few things answered from Kesty as to thought processes and stuff. So
Okay. So,
I'm filling out
so
the
just,
worksheet
so
basically.
just 2.3 and just 5.5. Everything else is done as
Yeah,
far as
Yes.
we think it's done.
and
Okay.
uploaded.
So Liam and Lily, other than 2.3 and 5.5, everything that we have marked completed is as complete as we think it is. So you can look at that anytime you want now.
Yep.
Yes, we've already, I went back through like all the emails that we've
Yeah.
gone through, and we have reviewed everything that has already been submitted. So far on my end, I think that everything that's already been submitted is good, and we'll just do one more review just to be 100% sure, but
Yeah.
we're in a
Okay,
really good
great.
place.
Okay.
Yeah, Liam and Lily, just to let you know, I did make one small change to 8.3 train municipal representatives because in speaking with Jeremy Ginsburg, who's our Director of Planning and Zoning, he indicated that the training that 5 planning and zoning commissioners had attended did have a housing component to it. So I opened up that third category C and I put them in there. And then for the earlier category A, I used one of the commissioners who did some other additional trainings. So I asked for 5 extra points there.
Sounds great.
And I indicated in the comments that he said that training had an element, one of the sessions had an element of a training related to housing.
Okay, perfect.
Because you had already looked at that and approved it.
Totally. Yeah, we can take a quick look, but it sounds good.
So everybody has all day today to make up any touch-ups or modifications, and unless someone yells at Carolyn and tells her to stop, she is going to submit that application tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. This is always a learning experience. There is so much information in here, and I think we've said it internally to ourselves over the years. We're supposed to be people in the know, and it's so hard to actually get a full picture of everything that the town is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't think there's anybody that knows this, that knows the full context, right? In
Right.
terms of town administrators, in terms of elected officials, I don't think anyone really appreciates all of this work or understands it all under the same umbrella of sustainability.
Right. This is kind of a nice umbrella to bring it all together and show everyone what's going on.
Yeah, no, it's very helpful. Hopefully we'll get that opportunity to make a presentation on it once we know the results, because I think it's it's impressive, and it certainly was a Herculean effort by everybody to document it and get all the information in one place.
Yeah, no, I think, people don't really realize how much work goes into this, but everyone on this committee has really just, put forth a Herculean effort to get this done. And, it's really been a great process, a hard but great process.
But fingers crossed, we'll get rewarded with that silver medal, and you can take a picture with the new plaque.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would be very exciting. I am, so happy that it turned out this way. And
And I have to
hopefully,
say, I
Sustainable
never,
CT will agree. Hmm?
yeah, I got to tell you, I would have never imagined, targeted, or attempted 600 points. But somehow we got there, and it's amazing. It's twice as many as I thought we'd get.
Twice as many as I thought also at the beginning of this process. But it's funny. It's like, kind of the more that you dig to get information on something, you learn something else that then makes you think, oh, that could go under this area. And I mean, just happenstance things like, for example, watching, TV 79 one night, I happened to see a meeting of the invasives working group of the planning and the Parks and Rec Commission, which I had no idea if I hadn't happened across that airing of that meeting, and then that fit very nicely into one of the categories. So it's just funny
Okay.
how the more you look, the more you learn.
Yeah. Well, we're at an exciting point. And
Yeah, and one other exciting thing is we did get, if anyone is interested in going to the EPA's Energy Star website, you will see that Darien now has 4 new buildings that are Energy Star certified by the EPA. And if you go to that website, you'll see them there. So that was something, a very nice byproduct of this process.
yeah, thank you, Tony.
Yes.
And thank you, Liam and Lily, for your guidance and your time this summer.
We really appreciate it. You guys were the best. Thank you so much.
Fare thee
Such
well
helpful
into the
comments.
continuation of your studies.
Thank you so much. You guys have been really awesome with all your hard work. It's been really amazing to see, especially with the organization and leadership. It's been amazing. Thank you so much for your hard work and everything. And I'm sure it'll be a silver at the end of it.
Oh, we hope so. Thank
We
you for
like
your
confidence. We like confidence.
confidence. Yeah, I think Kathy and Cliff had mentioned earlier that I guess at the conclusion of this process, perhaps after Sustainable CT finishes reading all the applications, Cliff, correct me if I'm wrong, but Kathy and Cliff and some of the rest of us thought it might be helpful. There were areas in the application that were, I think, needlessly confusing, and it might make us feel better to be able to give them some feedback on the process. Is there
Yeah,
a sort of
I believe last year they send out an email or a Google form or some sort of reflection for municipalities to kind of respond back there. But I'm
sort of a
sure that,
postmortem?
yeah, right. I'll bring that up to Mary, and because Lily and I have a final report that we have to write as well, so we can include
Okay.
that in there. Lily, do you remember hearing something about that?
I know that they definitely can receive feedback through like just info@sustainableCT.org, and a lot of those comments too, I've shared with Mary as well because I agree with most of what has been brought up. There are a lot of things that might need to be reviewed so they make more sense in the future, especially with like rolling versus new action credit. So, but I'm sure there'll be an opportunity if it's not sent out in a survey or something of that nature. You could always reach out directly, and they're always happy to hear feedback.
Okay. No, good. Yeah, and even sometimes some of the terminology is a little bit confusing.
All right, I found
Oh,
it.
yay. Thank you, Craig. Yes,
Here
there
we
it
go. We
is.
got Middlesex and Holmes and Royal and Town Hall.
Yes.
Now, Energy Star certified.
Yes, and I sent an email to the chairman of the Board of Education and the facilities director, and copied Monica and Marley Hayes, the communications person, just so that they're
So they
aware
know,
of
yeah.
this, because there's like a whole publicity kit that comes along with it. So I think they're expecting the town to let everyone know that that this happened.
Cool.
I will certainly put it on through our channels on, social media channels.
78. Just looking at the numbers, curious. 75. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think one of them went down, if I'm not mistaken. I think Middlesex ended up being a little bit less than what it was, like 78, and it ended up being like 72 or something like that. So a little bit less, but still, not 72. It was still high enough. No, it was like 80 something, high 80s to low 80s. I think it went. So it's been a very very interesting learning process, all of this. So
So are we going?
unless anyone else has anything that they would like to say or questions, I think, everybody should just maybe take a look at, your application. I mean, your action items that you completed, make sure you're okay with them. If you make any changes, let Liam and Lily know. And Liam and Lily, you'll take a look at the whole application. And if you see any discrepancies, let us know. And otherwise, at 9 o'clock tomorrow, I'm hitting send. So,
And then having a
anything else?
stiff drink. Oh, it's too early. But
What's that? Yeah. Oh, believe me. Yeah. So yeah, there'll be a lot of celebrating, but yeah, no, this has been great. Thanks everyone, and Lily and Liam especially, thank you for all of your counsel and help and advice, and thank you to the committee. And we'll have plenty of thanks to go around once we hit send. But all the department heads who helped us, the groups in town like Pollinator Pathway and the Darien Library and Chamber. Just so much thanks to go around. It's really been an amazing process, and I really am anxious for people to take a look at the application once it's approved and it's available for people to look at, because there's just so much in it. And to Craig's earlier point, I think so many people, I think there's so few people who really sort of have a comprehensive overview of the town the way that we do after going through this process. And I'm anxious for other people to see that. So beyond that, I don't think there's much more to say.
Great.
So
I look forward to your email tomorrow, Carolyn, so we know it's all set.
I will definitely notify everyone once I have hit send. And in the meantime, if anyone has anything that they need to email me, questions or anything, just let me know. And thanks, everyone. I really appreciate it.
So I'll add my
Thank you.
thanks to Liam and Lily and Tony for that matter. And it was good working with all of you, and I move we adjourn.
Great.
And
I'll
second?
Second.
Okay, great. And we are adjourning at 12:25, and I'll turn off the recording.